African company works to replicate Moderna's COVID vaccine, without permission, to address unequal access.
Here's a summary of the article.
Petro Terblanche, the managing director of African Biologics and Vaccines, told PATA that her company's aim is to overcome the vaccine inequalities laid painfully bare by the COVID-19 pandemic by replicating Moderna's coronavirus vaccine. After pleading with big pharma companies to share their vaccine recipes, the scientists in Cape Town decided there was no more time to wait, and they took the development of a vaccine into their own hands. African is working to replicate Moderna's mRNA COVID vaccine together with Wits University in Johannesburg. Despite Moderna's stated commitment to global vaccine access, they have not given their permission to the African project. We can legally take this vaccine up to clinical trials without infringing any intellectual property, explained Terblanche. The company's ambition is not just to replicate Moderna's vaccine, but to improve upon it, creating a freeze-dried version that doesn't require cold storage. After months of skepticism in the medical and scientific community that any African entity would succeed in creating an mRNA vaccine, like Moderna's or Pfizer's, Terblanche said African looks forward to surprising the rest of the world. We can, and we will. It's the kind of determination, by rebels in lab coats, that will be needed to turn the tide on this battlefront in the war on the coronavirus.
This post received a score of 14,000, with an upvote ratio of 82%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than Moderna will not enforce our COVID-19 related patents against those making vaccines intended to combat the pandemic. Further, to eliminate any perceived IP barriers to vaccine development during the pandemic period. Upon request, we are also willing to license our intellectual property for COVID-19 vaccines to others for the post-pandemic period. Moderna said that in October 2020,
"It's just a clickbaity, heart-tugging headline that paints a completely different picture than what's actually happening. This is a private equity company that's received $100 million from the WHO to figure out how to scale production of the Moderna vaccine. They're learning how to make an mRNA vax at scale, not reverse engineering the vax itself. To make it sound like Moderna's profiteering at the expense of Africans is disingenuous."
So you're saying I made the right move in coming to read the comments instead of feeding this shitty-ass journalist website more clicks? My methodology was correct all this time. Huzzah!
No, don't assume Reddit comments are always right. They can bullshit and get upvotes and awards, which can give the false impression that the info is correct. This is bad. It's disproportionately bad for the African continent and many poorer nations. You can listen to someone's comment try to sound intelligent and shit while making this whole thing seem less sinister than it is, but in reality it's just global racism and white nations getting the best end of the stick.
You can listen to someone's comment try to sound intelligent and shit while making this whole thing seem less sinister than it is. I get not believing everything that's said on Reddit, since there's a tremendous amount of misinformation here. But what is sinister about Moderna actually refusing to enforce their own COVID-19 patents and handing over their intellectual property to anyone who requests it? Where's the racism there? It seems like the only one trying to sound intelligent and shit, and misrepresent facts with populist talking points to get up votes is yo.
Determination alone won't do shit in the production of the mRNA vaccines. South Korea can't manufacture these things. They are insanely advanced in their manufacturing, and they cannot do it. If they can get any significant number of vaccines produced in the next 5 years, I will eat my hat. I will literally eat my hat. Message me in 5 years and I will do it.
Greater than determination alone won't do shit. If the internet entrepreneur scams have taught me anything, it's the mindset that counts. All you gotta do to achieve your dreams is wake up at 5 a.m. with the right mindset and buy my course on success.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.